The story and the engine. Well, the good news on this one is that Russell T Davies didn't write it, so it's not a complete disastrous cringe nightmare. Um, it's not going to get a high score though, and it's not. I guess out of this so far season, it's the I guess the second best. Um, Most of them have been complete awful garbage. So far, The Well I think has been the only one that was like somewhat decent. This one approached decency, like it wasn't too bad. I actually like the idea. So let's use my space system. Oddly enough, the first category is story, and this is called the story and the engine. I'm going to give the storyline a 1 out of 2. So it was actually okay, and there were some elements I really liked. This whole entire episode could have been made better if they eliminated a few things. This is one of these ones where they should have eliminated some stuff and maybe added a couple of other things. So the story is about this bad guy. I don't think they gave his name, or at least I didn't catch it. He's actually kind of cool. I like the actor. It's this bad guy who hates the gods, and he used to work for all the gods. So going through history, all of the different gods and everything that have existed, they've all either been aliens or something, whatever's been said in previous Doctor Who's. And if they haven't been said in previous Doctor Who's, then it's just, you assume that there's some sort of alien force or entity or whatever. And he's worked for them to help preserve their stories and share them with the world. And he's sort of kept them alive, or their memories alive, through telling these stories. And he's kind of been shafted by them. So he's pissed off, and he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to, build my little ship, and I'm going to create an engine that runs on stories, because that's kind of my specialty. And I'm going to destroy the gods. The problem is it was never really made clear, at least to me, exactly how that was going to work. Like, he's in this giant spider thing, which looks awesome. I'll give you that. And it's cool. It's like it's literally going through sort of like a universal web. So you could say it's like the world, the World Wide Web. And they actually say that and it's crawling through kind of like space or whatever on this web thing. It's pretty neat. I don't understand where is it going, and what's the destination? Why can't you destroy the gods a different way? Like, what are you doing? So I may have missed that. So I don't want to fault it too much for that, but there's a lot of dumb stuff, man. Again, the very beginning was this little boy who grows up later in the episode, telling the story of how the Doctor came and saved his burning village. That was cool. I really thought that was neat. That was neat. Then it cuts to Belinda and the Doctor talking in the TARDIS. Many weird contradictions are already said in this scene. They're like, this is the cringe, like, woke scene or whatever that people are going to be complaining about. It's only a couple of minutes, but it is pretty stupid. He's like saying, well, I've never been in this black body before, and I feel uncomfortable places or whatever, or I've been treated better. I haven't been treated as nicely in this body. It's like, when was that happening? We haven't seen that. And he's like, oh, well, here in Africa, I feel that I'm treated nicely. Except when he gets there, and when Belinda gets there, everyone on the street is bugging him to buy stuff and like in his face. And it's like, is that treated well, or are they just trying to get something from you? His friend, who basically like kind of tricks him into coming or whatever, summons him, like betrays him, because he needs the Doctor there to like save them and tell stories. And he basically says, keep the Doctor and let us go. So how is he being treated well? Plus, isn't the 15th Doctor the 415th Doctor? Wasn't there 4 million Doctors before this? And wasn't it a little black girl to start with? And isn't Ruth a Doctor? So how is this him? Well, I've never been in this black body before, except for the 100 other times that I have been in this body. So this is the show trying to give you this stupid message or whatever, which is a non-existent message anyways. It's like, within the context of Doctor Who, you're telling me that he's been several other people on screen. We've seen Little Black Girl and Ruth. So we know for a fact, if you're following this continuity, that is not true. So it's just a bunch of nonsense. So remove that entire scene. Like, just remove it. Okay. And then Belinda's like, oh, I went back to India and it was great and all that. It's like, okay, where did you go? Like, it's like anywhere else. You go to different regions and people are dicks, and some places you go and everyone's cool. It's just like this bunch of crap. So I'm certain that a lot of people just shut the episode off right there because I just thought this is already garbage. However, I stuck with it. So let's talk about the pacing. Not too bad. This is actually a one-room story, so everything happens pretty much in the barbershop. I didn't find it boring, oddly enough. I thought, oh, this is going to be kind of boring. It should have been shorter. I'm going to give it a pass. I'll give it a 1 point for the pacing. It should have been told quicker. There's a lot of kind of like, just not the middle part, but like, let's say if it was a 3-act, it's not really exactly 3 acts, but let's say the first act was really like, ugh, and then it kind of picked up a little bit. I wasn't really bored during it, so I'm still giving it a passing score of 1. The artistry. Now, this is going to be weird. I'm going to give it a 1.5, which is a lot more than I thought I would. I still like the interior of the TARDIS. I still like the intro, so that's remains. I really liked the giant spider with like the little barbershop on his back or whatever. I thought that was kind of neat. It looks like it actually looks like a kind of like an African spider, has like a mask and stuff. I was like, this is really neat. So a lot of cool design work for me on the spider. Plus, I like giant spiders anyways. I do want to see Superman fight that giant spider. Anyway, I thought that was cool in The Flash where they showed that scene that never happened in that movie that never happened with Nick Cage as Superman. So I like the giant spider. I like the interior of the barbershop. It looks cool. I like the colors. One of the things, and I find this a lot when if a movie or a TV show, if they go to Africa, there's always these great colors. Everyone's wearing these amazing outfits, and they just like, even just like sort of like the regular people that are just around, not the stars, not the main cast, but just like the regular people, the extras all look good too. I liked all of the styles that I like the bad guy and his lady assistant or whatever. They looked cool. That was really neat. Yeah, it looked good. You know, the music, they had a slightly different music. They tried to make it fitting for Africa, so it had that sort of like African feel. I thought it kind of worked in some parts and not in other parts, but generally it was fine. For the characters, this is a tough one because it's weird. I actually liked the villain and I liked his assistant lady. I thought they were both pretty cool. And I actually liked the supporting cast. There's the 4 guys who are missing. They're the guys who, the way the story works is that their hair grows really fast and then they have to get a haircut. And as they get a haircut, this technology transforms their story that they're telling while they're getting a haircut. It's weird. Look, it's a weird, kooky kind of story. I actually think it kind of is neat for the weirdness of it, which kind of, but so that translates into powering the engine through stories, but it has to be through the barber chair, through the clippers, and they got these really cool like wood carvings. So I liked the villain. I liked his assistant lady. I actually thought the 4 guys were okay. The doctor, he's okay. I don't think a tear comes down, but he definitely gets watery eyed. It's like, oh, it's enough. It's just so stupid. I'm tired. I was tired of it when he first cried. And the first time he first cried, I was like, yeah, I'm done already. If he's going to cry, that's bullshit. And he is crying all the time. It's absolutely stupid. They tell a couple of cool stories with the doctor, and they show all of the previous doctors, the real doctors. They show all of them. So that's kind of neat, I guess. It's not enough for me to be like, wow, this is great. Like, yeah, remember when the show was awesome? It's like, yeah, I remember, and they couldn't help themselves. They had Ruth appear for the dumbest reasons of a story you could ever imagine. Like the girl was going to be engaged to the female doctor. It's like, I seriously doubt in that. I don't know what year that was supposed to be, but I seriously doubt that would have been happening. So that's really stupid. And it's cringe, and there's a lot of these cringe moments, and this one doesn't have as many as some of the other ones, but the problem is that they do creep in. There's a side plot, very quick side plot with Belinda, where because she's a nurse, and she diagnoses this woman's condition, and the doctor kind of missed it. And I don't think it was the doctor's too, but I think it was supposed to just show that Belinda is a bit more I don't know, compassionate towards the patients, I suppose. But I liked that. I actually liked that. And then later, the woman is saved, and she comes and thanks Belinda and says, "Oh, thanks for catching my condition or whatever." It's a bit contrived. It's a cute thing for Doctor Who. I'm not that tense over it. Enjoyment factor, this is a tough one. I'll give it a 1. Like, it was all right. There's a really neat part. There's something really cool. I don't know if this is historically accurate. I'm going to assume it is historically accurate, but there's something where they're talking about how the women would do each other's hair, and yes, it was all about slavery, right? Of course. But I don't. It was. I think it was referring to Africans enslaving other Africans. I don't think it was like white people enslaving the black people. I think it was within Africa, because there was tons of slavery, like massive amounts there within their own race. But she talked about how the hair, they would braid their hair in a certain way and do little patterns, and the patterns represented maps and stuff. I thought that was damn cool. Actually, that was the best thing in the whole episode. She does the Doctor's hair in such a way that it maps out the interiors of the spider ship, so he can navigate through. That was probably the number one best thing in the entire episode, was how she did that, like incognito or whatever. So I'm giving this one a 5.5 out of 10. So by my system, that actually seems like that's actually more positive. And I'm a bit more positive on this one in just the way I'm presenting it. But really, end of the day, like, I'm never going to watch this episode again. I'm probably never even going to watch The Well again, though, maybe. It's just everything from Timeless Child and on. And I could even rewatch a couple of Jodie episodes here and there if I really felt like it. But a lot of it has just been completely terrible. And for people, this is over 12 minutes. If you've watched this far, thanks so much for watching. If you're going to comment and you have watched this far and you agree or disagree, put He-Man, put He-Man in your comment, just so I know that you watched it all. But yeah, I don't know. The ratings have been going down and down and down. We're in the 2 to 3 million range. At some points, it's even lower than 2 million, which is abysmal. This show used to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I looked back at some ratings, and going into even the Tom Bakers, you're getting into 10 million, over 10 million. You're over 10 million for the great Tom Baker. We're at a point now where we're in the 2 million. Like, if they get 2 million, they're happy. Even Jodie's first ever appearance, the woman who fell to Earth, I think was a 7 million. And that is a first female doctor. So the people were interested. But 7 million is a very decent number. Getting down to 1 million, 1.5, 2 million, like, this is abysmal. And people are still trying to argue that this is great. And it's just a few of these toxic fans or whatever. It's not toxic fans. The show sucks. I didn't put sucks in my thumbnail for this one because I'm not angry at this episode. But that podcaster one, that was an FU to fans, and it was a disgusting piece of cringe garbage. Like, this one wasn't RTD, so, I guess this guy tried to still write a story and succeeded in, like, somewhat decent way. I probably would have liked this a lot more if they would have changed a few of those things I had mentioned and made the Doctor a bit stronger and not just like a loser who cries all the time. So is that really the Doctor that you're presenting? This is the show you're presenting, this guy who cries all the time? That's supposed to be what leads this show. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you hit the like button. Check out my other Doctor Who stuff if you like Doctor Who. And please subscribe if you want to. So thanks, everybody. Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.